So it seems like Valve is back once again, updating and fixing CS2. But this time around, it's early in the week, so if any new problems arise, we'll have until Friday to patch everything out. Now, late yesterday evening, CS2 devs sent out the latest update for CS2, where numerous new bug fixes arrived. But on the other hand of things, because it's Counter-Strike 2, brand new ones also just emerged. Not to mention the long-standing ones, at least some of them still haven't been patched. Now, at this point in time, I think it's safe to say that Valve is currently cleaning house and making way for what's to come, that being with content for CS2 very soon. But before we go any further, I want to give a big thanks to SkinSwap for sponsoring today's video. SkinSwap is a CS2 site where you can buy, sell, and trade your CS items. And right now they're giving you a free skin worth up to $50 once you've completed your first trade. To start trading, all you have to do is select the skins you no longer want, pick the new items, and watch them fall into your inventory. With just a few clicks, you can also instantly cash out or buy skins using a payment method of your choice. With an inventory that holds a wide variety of skins, users can enjoy SkinSwap's daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. Thanks again to SkinSwap for sponsoring today's video. If interested, the link will be at the top of the description down below. Now, firstly for today's video, I want to hop right into the meat and potatoes, that being the blog post from last night. Now, I think most players were just expecting one blog post point, or maybe one sort of tab, not three. Devs dropped three different ones, that being for maps, animation, and miscellaneous. Now, for maps, there's only 2 points for Ancient, one of them being they restored some grenade lineup visuals, and miscellaneous clipping fixes. Which the clipping fixes, I will say, after testing some myself, seeing what others are saying within the community, they actually did a pretty solid job. I just now hope this translates to other maps that do need it as well. As it stands for animation, the biggest thing throughout this entire update is Valve fixed the knives, specifically the butterfly, the stiletto, and the classic knife inspect animation. But specifically for the butterfly and stiletto, they had to fix deploy animations because these were really broken for a very long time. They also updated the talon knife inspect while fidgeting to be more responsive. They also adjusted the flip knife animation when inspecting immediately after deploying. They also adjusted the bayonet knife animation, also inspecting immediately after deploying. Now, I will say, I know this doesn't really sound like much or really seem like much here, but I truly believe Valve is really kind of giving it their all with this when it comes to fixes, at least right now anyway, because 2 years ago, this wouldn't have been Valve. What I mean by that is them actually taking the time to write out what they changed specifically with each knife. Now, really quickly, this is myself in the post edit, and I do want to mention the bayonet animation footage you're seeing here is not sped up whatsoever. This is in real time with how broken the quick inspect is after you're, well, just getting this, well, to inspect. It doesn't really seem real, and it's just one of those things, once again, that doesn't really seem or feel like it was tested, which we will discuss and talk more about that later. And I also will mention it's not just the bayonet, it's also the talon, it's also the butterfly, but the bayonet and the butterfly seem to be the worst of this case, but they still seem to be messed up, but they do seem better. And of course, last up for last night's blog post is the miscellaneous tab. Valve fixed a performance regression when creating bullet impact effects. They also stated view angle velocity now affects spectator target view models the same way it affects local player view models. They also fixed a bug where matchmaking was avoiding servers playing the nighttime version of Ancient. They removed and fixed some things surrounding particle effects. They also fixed a case where overlapping smoke clouds would prematurely extinguish the fire Molotov. And as it stands for the biggest points from last night's blog, I'm definitely going to say the knife category, the animation category overall. And I also will say, as it stands for these things not getting fixed when they first came out as soon as people probably would have liked, I think Valve does in some sense need to step up their game. But more about that in a minute. Now, some things behind the scenes that were not discussed whatsoever in the blog post, which I believe is the result of Valve not testing out this alongside every other update. CS recently mentioned that the first person view model sway is messed up after last night's update, and here he shows a brief before and after comparison. He says you can try and reproduce this by using SV Cheats 1 and set the host time scale to 0.25. And as the comments and most people's thoughts after this tweet is, why doesn't Valve test their updates? I mean, you have person after person at this point also saying the exact same thing. Something needs to change, something needs to budge. But what I will say about this is, based off of recent leaks, if they are true, which it's really seeming like they are, where only 5 people were working on CS2 at a time, all this makes a whole lot more sense now. Now, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys enjoying Valve's consistency? Is your game still holding up pretty well after last night's patch? Now, stay tuned, guys, for this week. Got some interesting videos specifically about the CS2 dev team. Ladies and gentlemen, Fallout.